shoot, it's here. It's here. Thank you. You too. Oh, snap. This is what I've been waiting for. Well, one of two. We'll get after it here in a second. I gotta finish up. Done. All right, hey, what's up? Here's Ryan from Detroit. So, as I was showing you earlier, I got this package that came in, and I've been waiting for this for about a week now. And I'm pretty excited about it because there's something about this that's kind of like an old friend. So why don't we just open it up and we'll take a look. There it is, folks. The RX100V Mark V, but the thing about this camera that makes it a little different is that little orange Mark V-A. So I've actually technically, I've never had this camera, but I have had the Mark V, and if you recall, one of the best videos I've ever put out as far as engagement on YouTube prior was about why the RX100 Mark V was the best video pocket cinema camera ever made. And once I made that video at one point, I then sold the camera. Yeah, I sold the camera because I wanted to sell it and get more into photography, and I sold it to purchase this Fuji X70, which I mentioned is now going back, but I'm exchanging. But here's the thing. I ended up selling it for this guy, and this is the this is the Sony ZV-1. That is the RX100 Mark V, for all intents and purposes, with a better microphone, a flip out screen, and some other key features here. I'm selling this. I've actually already sold it. Actually, I sold it to my buddy Eric Jennings because this is going to become his pocket camera, and he gets it. But there's one main feature on this camera versus this old camera that I just can't get past. So, man, I missed you. I really missed you. So, okay, so here's the deal. If you look at these two cameras, they're slightly different in size. A little bit, this one's a little heftier because of the magnesium alloy versus the plastic. But the lenses are the same. The sensor's upgraded on this with some other features, but there's one thing I just cannot get past. I know everyone in the vlog world, in the video world, they love this here. They love seeing this, like this flip out screen. It doesn't get in the way of the microphone, that kind of thing. But the way I shoot a lot of times is I shoot like this as I'm walking around, and I'll flip back and forth. And this just makes it very unnatural for me to do that. Very unnatural. So I really couldn't get used to it. That was sort of the first thing. So on these RX100 Mark V, it's a flip up screen. And when I hold the camera here, man, this feels so different than what I was used to. But when I hold the camera here with the Sony grip, it just feels natural to me. It's something that I can really shoot back and forth. It's a tighter radius, if you know what I'm saying, turn radius, where I can just flip it, not an issue. That's number one. Number two is, and for the way I shoot, it's a really, really big deal. The ZV-1 doesn't have a ring around, a lens ring. They took that feature out probably from a cost perspective and the fact that it's plastic versus magnesium alloy. And for the way that I shoot, there's two things I do often. Is swish pan, you hear that a lot, but the second thing I do is also exposure comp. I dial it up and down all the time, which makes it hard on this camera, but I still do it. It's always at my fingertips. With that camera, I had to click a button and scroll. With this camera, I can literally bump it up and down with my thumb, and I can see the exposure comp. See, battery's not in. I can see the exposure comp there. It makes all the difference in the world for me. And those two things, as quirky and as old as this camera might be, those two things are a deal breaker for me. So yes, I have chosen the 4-year-old RX100 Mark V, Mark V version A, new menu, a little bit faster autofocus, that kind of thing. I think S-Log 2, even though I don't use picture profiles. I have chosen that over the cheaper and much better equipped Sony ZV-1.
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
So those are the reasons, and I am super, super excited because as I continue to make videos on this channel, this thing literally goes in my pocket and goes everywhere with me. You can go and look back through some of my old videos where I've taken this into Soldier Field right, into suite number 1, Green Bay Packers versus Chicago Bears a couple years back, taking this on planes. I've taken this in areas and places where it was hard to get the big camera in, and this one, because I said the flip out screen, I just couldn't get used to it. So really, really good deal on this camera from a really good dude, Sydney Jungzong, from his YouTube channel. And now I'm passing it along for the same price, the same deal, to my buddy Eric Jennings. And swapped it out for a used Sony RX100 Mark V-A. And boy, am I excited about this. So stay tuned, because I'll be mixing and matching a lot of footage between the two of these as we go along and continue to build. So if you got any questions on these cameras, let me know. I'll talk about more features below. There's some other little nuances that I haven't been able to figure out on the ZV-1 yet, which in time I'm sure I could have done, but there's just some nuances there that aren't really for me compared to something like this. So it's good to have my old friend back, the old RX100. I will still argue now with Eric, the best pocket cinema camera to ever exist or be made, even over the Sony ZV-1. To take the crown right there. So that's what I got for you today. I'm Ryan from Detroit. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. And until next time, remember, you're amazing.